Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna have a beautiful spotlight about the Phalaenopsis Bronze Maiden. And this one is a gorgeous hybrid, very famous among orchid collectors. So if you would like to know a little bit more about this plant, stay here, let's explore this hybrid together. And let's talk not only about its flowers, and I give you some other tips about how to have a cascade of blooms as well. So first of all, this Phalaenopsis is a primary hybrid that it has a lot of character, some quirks, and it has a very nice backstory as well. Not only that, but it's also a fragrant Phalaenopsis that has a gorgeous foliage. And if you love orchids, if you love unusual orchids, I think this one should be one for you. I am recording this video using my new phone just to see how it works, and also I wouldn't have time to be in front of the camera today, so I thought that instead of skipping the video, it would be really nice to maybe try to do it as a B-roll. So to start, this is a primary hybrid, which means that we have two species of orchid that they will cross, and then we obtain this hybrid. In the case of the Phalaenopsis Bronze Maiden, it is a cross between two beautiful Phalaenopsis, one that I own in my collection, that is the Phalaenopsis schilleriana, and the other one is the Phalaenopsis mani or manii. They are honestly one of them I've never owned. And the manii usually has narrow petals, it will have a bronze superduct onto it, and also have a fine reddish bars across the flowers. While the Phalaenopsis schilleriana, on the other hand, is one of these Phalaenopsis that has a beautiful mottled leaves, and I love the mottling of the schilleriana, and will produce a beautiful cascading of flowers. So when we combine these two species, we're gonna have a magical result that is the Phalaenopsis Bronze Maiden. When they combine, not only we have the beautiful Phalaenopsis Bronze Maiden, but not only that, this plant is also fragrant. So let's talk a little bit more about the flowers and the fragrance as well. The flowers of the Bronze Maiden, as you can see here, typically star-shaped and will range in color from a pale pinkish bronze to yellowish tones with red or maroon berry. Mine is very much pink, and it has maybe some salmon color to it, and you will notice that the red or maroon that it has comes from the manii and also the waxy, light glossy, and very long-lasting blooms. But the fragrance, the subtle and sweet fragrance, I am sure it comes from the schilleriana. The schilleriana has the same sort of fragrance that this hybrid, and I am in love with it. This plant tends to be very compact. I don't think it will grow as large as the schilleriana, but it's also a very adaptable plant as well, and we can keep it under growing light, in a shelving, or in other places that you don't have the super bright light that other orchids need. This one won't need whatsoever. Now let's talk about why I have a very weird display of flowers. And there is a very easy explanation for it. So with all Phalaenopsis, I would say most of them, and then here I will make a caveat. If you have a schilleriana in your collection, you can see that the spike will turn towards the light, but my schilleriana doesn't matter if I'm moving it around, usually it will have a perfect symmetrical cascade of flowers. That this gene was definitely passed to some other hybrids of Phalaenopsis. But most of them, what happened with they will tend to turn towards the source of light. So if I have, for example, a white wall, and then I have some growing lights, and I have some natural light, and all of them are coming from different directions, like one of my shelvings. What happens is that the buds, they might turn towards the stronger light, but also if I just move them a little bit, they might turn towards the other source of light. And as you can see, I had buds that were actually pointing forward. I have others that will point backwards. And that's why I have a very, very weird flower spike. And that's fully my fault. So if you want to have one of these cascading of flowers with the Bronze Maiden and with other Phalaenopsis as well, ideally you should have one source of light, and you can position your plant when the spike is fully formed towards that source of light, so the buds will all turn to the same direction, and when they open, they will be symmetrical as well. It didn't happen here, but as I mentioned, it was my fault, and I'm okay with it because I think the flowers are still beautiful. However, it could be definitely better. Just to say, the same care that we offer to other Phalaenopsis, we should offer to this one as well. It enjoys intermediate temperature. Just keep it inside your home and it should be fine. Another thing is you can place it under growing lights. You can grow in your shelving. You can grow in your desk. If you have some indirect sunlight, these plants will do well. As with other Phalaenopsis, it's pretty adaptable to light. It actually doesn't need a super strong source of light. It will do well with an indirect source of light, which is amazing because it makes these kind of plants very adaptable to our home environments. Something else, it will also enjoy moderate humidity. It's not fussy whatsoever. You don't fire, just look into the roots, see if the roots are green, or if they are grayish, that means that they need a little bit more water. Add some water, fertilize it with other orchids, and it should be fine. Something else is always have good air movement inside the potting mix, because these plants, there are epiphytes, what means that they grow in their natural habitat, attached to trees, tree trunks, so the roots, they are not adapted to live inside soils or have mixes. For this reason, always use an orchid potting mix so this plant can actually have the right balance of humidity and air. Now, enough about care. Let's talk about some fun facts, shall we? The mania is a sequential bloomer that will have super thicky and waxy flowers. While I would say that although Bronze Maiden has the same star-shaped flowers as the mania, but I don't believe it's a sequential bloomer just looking at the spike. I would say that it's much more similar to the Schilleriana in the sense that it will push out this beautiful flower spike, but I think when it's gone, it's probably gone. I don't know if it can be planted or not. We will discover in a couple of months. On top of that, I am sure the Bronze Maiden inherit characteristics from both parents, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, which makes this plant a truly icon for orchid collector. And the last thing that I want to say here in terms of fun fact is that this orchid, this hybrid, is actually around for more than 60 years and is still going strong in collections today. So it's definitely a classic, and it's definitely something that I super recommend for any collections. Both parents of this plant come from Southeast Asia rainforest, which explain why these plants enjoy their warmth and also their humidity. But as I said, it is not a fussy plant, so it can grow inside any home that you have intermediate conditions. And just to wrap up here this video, just to let you know that this is my beautiful Phalaenopsis Bronze Maiden. I always wanted this plant. It's one of these plants that were in my wish list for a while. So I am really happy that I was able to bloom it, and it wasn't difficult at all. If there is something that I can say, if you have a healthy Bronze Maiden, there are great chances that it will probably do well if you have other Phalaenopsis in your collection and you know how to look after them. Because these plants, they were not difficult. Something else is that these are not the kind of hybrids that we find locally. Usually you have to go to orchid nurseries and then you have to order your Bronze Maiden from them. I've never heard anyone finding these in, I don't know, flower shops or maybe garden centers. That's not the case, unfortunately. But if you find it around and it has a good price, I super recommend. It's not a difficult plant to look after, and it's definitely a gorgeous orchid. Although mine has flowers facing all over the place, I still think it's a super beautiful plant, and I could not do a spotlight on it. So anyway, let me know if you own a Bronze Maiden, if you have any tips, and if you enjoy this plant. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, let me know down below. I'll definitely come to some of your comments. I am a little bit delayed in here. I'll always read everything that you write. I might not respond to everyone all the time because life happens. And as always, I'm always super busy, but thank you very much for everyone that is here, that is in tune with my channel, that's watching my video. I really appreciate you. And that being said, if you enjoy this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Let me know down below anything that you want to know about orchids, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.